Udjahee, welcome to actually our vaulted episode. I know you guys haven't heard us in a while.
Been a long time.
It has been a long time. I am Neferista Merusheta.
And I am Shems Haru Tenkawur.
And this is a vaulted episode of the Starlight podcast.
Yes.
And for those of you who have not been with us for a vaulted episode, basically what that is that we are pulling some stuff out the vault that has not been released before. Sometimes it's informational, sometimes it's just us chatting it up. Mm-hmm. Tonight it's going to be today. It's night for us, y'all. I don't know what time you're listening to it, but it's night for us right now. But we're going to be doing a little bit of both, a little bit of chatting and a little bit of info. Mm-hmm. So although a vaulted episode, we still want to begin this podcast by giving honor to the Dogon High Priest, the Master Healer, and our founder of the Kebta, the Earth Center, the Makaru, the Truth Teller, Neb Naba Lamoso Morodenabing. We are in the midst of the 30-year anniversary. So a lot of our dignitaries, a lot of initiates, a lot of pilgrims, a lot of members are there in Burkina Faso, West Africa, and Togo for the 30th anniversary of the Kebta, the inception, the beginning, the founding of the Kebta. And, you know, without his discipline, his integrity, his steadfastness in bringing this traditional Kemetic knowledge, reintroducing it to the world, Shamsuru and I would not be here with you all today.
Not at all.
We also want to give honor and thanks to all of our ancestors, the ancestors of myself, Big Geb, and our producer, because without them, we would not be here with you today. As well as we want to give honor and reverence and thanks to all of the ancestors of our listeners, of all of you guys, because without your ancestors, you would not be here with us today. And I want to also acknowledge the seen and the unseen forces that are here with us today. So for anybody this is your first time, I know this is a vaulted episode, but I'm going to just give you a little information on what our regular episode would look like. So if this was a regular Starlight podcast, then you would get to hear the segments that are in our normal podcast. And the first one that we normally jump into is Chem Talks, a view of the world through a Kemetic lens. And that used to be back in the day for all of you old heads who used to be with us from the beginning. Gang, shout out to y'all.
Gang.
That would be Hot Topics. Y'all remember that it used to be Hot Topics. It's no longer Hot Topics because we pre-record these for you. And we realized that sometimes our hot topics ended up being lukewarm topics.
Sometimes they was a little lukewarm.
They were not longer hot.
Not as hot as we thought.
They weren't hot. You'd be like, what? This is not hot no more. Because, stuff trends and then stuff don't trend no more. So we decided to really change that to Chem Talks, a view of the world through a Kemetic perspective. Then it's followed by our main discussion. Today, our main discussion is just going to be us giving you information on who we are, what we do, a little bit about Shemzuru, a little bit about myself. And we are then going to tell you how you can get a hold of us and drop your information, your feedback, your questions, your concerns, whatever it might be, to either one of us. As the host of the Starlight podcast, if you want to have more information about the Kebta, if you want to have more information about initiation itself, about the classes that are offered, or anything else in between. It could be something that you heard during one of our segments and you want one of our episodes and you want to discuss it, and we were going to talk about that. So then after the main discussion, it would normally be followed by Pick a Card, the Commandment of the Week, which is us picking one of the commandments from the 77 Divine Ordinances. Then we go into the Griot's Corner, where we will feature different artists from the community, we hope. You might have heard, if you've listened before. If you have not, go back and check us out. our previous episodes, because my wonderful, amazing lyricist, poet, co-host, Shemzaru Tankawar, host of the Second Thursdays Vibes and Voices at The Place on Franklin Street in Baltimore, Maryland, for y'all who are familiar with the area. He has honored us and graced us with some of his amazing lyricism. Shout out to him and come see him live.
Thank you.
If you've listened, you've heard our producer, Big Geb, and he is a percussionist, an amazing percussionist, and he's given us some of his artistry, percussion artistry, and that was amazing. And you might have heard me too. And so we don't want it just to be us. We want you to come out or join us, and we're going to tell you how to submit your information as well. Along with that, we also wrap up all of our segments with a portion of the Bayuwali reading, or what the Greeks called the horoscope. That's the general rundown of what you'll hear each episode of the Starlight podcast. But on this vaulted episode, we are going to first give you a little bit of background on how we got here, how we ended up being your hosts. And from there, we also are going to give you information on how to get a hold of us. So I guess I'm just going to start off a little bit. We are part of the Kebta community, and if you were listening to any of our previous episodes, you got to hear our sponsorship that shouted out the other podcasts that are here in the Kebta. For those of you who are in the Chicago area, there is the Sunnyside podcast, and the hosts there are Nehez Meniu and Kasabez Ma'akma. Thank you. I am tired, y'all. And
put some spec on my brother's
absolutely.
name.
Listen, listen. We have very fond feelings for Kasabez, because we got to spend time with him
weird.
In Merita.
That sound weird. Stunned.
We do.
That's my brother.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to spend time.
He a little strange sometimes, but he my brother for real.
We got to spend time with him in Merita, and I promise you, when you go to Merita with people, there's no way that you don't come back with a strong
Talk about
bond.
Kasabez, I knock you out.
I know that's right. And
only I can talk about Kasabez.
And the Hezmanu, he is my teacher, and the person who came and opened up the Baltimore temple. So again, we have much respect and reverence and honor for him as well. And they host the Sunnyside podcast in Chicago. So definitely check out YouTube to check them out. In New Jersey, there's also a podcast. What's the name of the podcast in New Jersey?
The Gate of Gates.
The Gate of Gates. Our brother Tutibsa is one of the hosts there. Who else is the host?
Kenny Bashu.
Mm-hmm.
Kajizra Iman. And I think that might be it. Don't quote me on that, y'all.
Yeah, but hey, go check them out. Again, you can go to
their logo is fire.
Absolutely. You can check them out at Kebta.
Not literally though.
On YouTube, and you can check out their podcast as well. So we are just a group of initiates, of members who were tasked with beginning podcasts in our areas. And Shamsaru and I were the ones who took up the mantle of being the host for you guys here in the DMV. We used to be the Baltimore Temple, but now we've relocated to Silver Spring, Maryland. So we are now the DMV. So it's a little bit of background of how we got here. Shamsu, how do you feel about being the host of the Starlight podcast?
I mean, it's another job for real. Like, because of my hosting experience, because of the fact that I like to be the one that all people kind of like look at, like the center of attention in a way. I like it. Like, I like y'all. I like for y'all to hear my voice every time y'all turn on the podcast, or whenever you listen, or whenever we drop a new episode. It's something that I enjoy, to be honest. Like, you know, getting to talk about stuff that I've thought about already, and might even, I don't even know if y'all know, but sometimes might even have to research. Just depends on whatever the topic is in general. So for me, it's just all a part with everything that I do right now. You know, like I got this, for y'all who don't know, I actually hand built a recording booth in my house. And although when we do the podcast, we sit on the outside of it, you know, for the future, we might be even sitting in the inside of it. And, you know, the fact that, you know, like, I'm a poet in Baltimore, and this is just what I do. Like, being on a mic is something that's more comfortable to me than driving a car sometimes. So it's just, you know, I like it, to be honest.
That's what's up. We all get here in our different journeys. For me, I'm not as comfortable.
Yeah, what about you?
As Shamsu on a mic. I mean, it might seem like I'm comfortable.
Yeah, you are.
I am not. I am comfortable singing on a mic.
Shoot, and give us a song.
I am not necessarily comfortable singing.
The next Grio's Corner, you gonna sing?
You know what? I might go ahead and sing a little something.
I'm gonna turn down the levels when you start singing for the game. So you got that.
Okay, the next Grio's Corner maybe, but. You know, but what I do love about this is it gives me an opportunity to research things that are important to me, that I realize are important to others as well. And I like to be able to hear from our listeners, you know, because although we're researching and we're definitely trying to pull from all the resources that we've been given, as initiates, as members of the Kebtah, the things that we've learned, our education in the Kemetic culture, so that we can then shift our perspective to then look at the things that are going on in the world, the things that we present in the podcast, and give them to you through a traditional Kemetic perspective. So for me, it's not, I'm not as comfortable, but because of the research and because of my passion for being able to, you know, live or try to live this culture in the Western paradigm,
bro,
which is so not easy.
It's not. Like, we should have a whole episode talking about how difficult that is in itself. Like, you know, I'm always grateful for the Kebtah and even taking its path, but bro, it's a fight.
It's a fight because at any given time,
it's a war. A fight sound like, oh, you know, blah, blah, blah. Bro, it's a war.
To do what's best. Because ultimately, you know, in the simplest of ways, Kemetic culture helps each individual to do what's best to preserve their life. That's the simplest of ways. Just simply to do what's best for you to be okay, for you to live a life that's well, for you to be healthy, for you to be mentally sound. That's simple. Now, the deeper meanings of initiation and what this all means, we're going to get into, and we have gotten into a bit. We're going to get into more. But it's very hard here in the West just to do that, just to do the things that are necessary for you to be well.
Tell me about it.
just to be well, you know?
Like, it's so interesting because to live under the illusion of to think that you're well is a bigger thing than to tackle the concept of, are you actually well?
Right.
You know, like, it's like the blind man who learns how to see. At one point, after he gains his sight, he might think maybe being blind is better.
Right.
And it's like the society itself, like, if you learn to see through the illusion, you start to even question whether being asleep or being awoke.
Which one's better?
Which one's better?
Listen, when you, we're not going to get too far and deep in this. Clearly, this is going to need to be a podcast, and it's like in and of itself, like you said, Shamsadu. But when you get the wool actually pulled away from your eyes, and you can see how things are, how the cogs and wheels are turning, it is easy to say, you know what, put the wool back.
Yeah, because
put the wool back. It's tough.
It's interesting too because, you know, after the point of where I'm at in the initiation in the Keptad, you know, taking classes and all of that, there's a lot of people who might read a couple books or might listen to a lecture by whoever on YouTube and whatever, and might think that they know something. Right. And then they even might talk about the fact that, I know that, but
you don't know what you don't know,
bro. Like, and
how destructive you not knowing
it's just
is.
A lot. It's just like, you know, I don't know if I have told y'all it yet, but I am a substitute teacher in the Baltimore County public school system. So I come in contact with a lot of kids on a day-to-day basis. And, you know, like, I listen to a lot of different conversations with them kids. And I be looking at them like, man, you balling. But I know that you are getting whatever you're getting because of your parent and their exposure. So you are just an accumulation of exposures. And, you know, the fact of how this system, this educational system in itself, like, kind of manipulates the mind so that everybody can become the singularity, and how everybody can kind of like have groupthink. And the oddball out is usually now the kid with autism, or you know, and they're like, oh, he's da da da. But having certain, I don't want to say conditions, but having certain abilities, you know, kind of puts you in a disposition. But it's just your natural becoming. It's your natural makeup. But this society puts you in a category of calcification, and it doesn't want you to like really express your gifts and your abilities in this world. And I see kids all the time who have certain gifts and have certain thought patterns, and then how like even the teachers kind of present certain things to them to get them to think in a singularity mind. And I'd be like, yo, this is crazy. This is a wild and an interesting system and position, you know, to just to find myself in. But I don't know, like looking like the veil, bro, like the veil is a lot thicker and a lot thinner than what we realize.
Right.
And the conditions of the concept of the veil, or to look behind the veil, or to look behind the glass, is a lot. Like, you're not going to get it all just by reading a book. No, you know, like the biggest thing that you need to do is to go where the functionality is. You know, like the Kepta temples in Merita, and you know the work that they're doing over there on a day-to-day basis. Like, if you really want to change, you got to immerse yourself inside of a culture or inside of a system that can magnify the change that you seek to see inside of yourself. And you know, reading a couple books is good. It gets you to know that it exists, but y'all got to drop that alien built the pyramids debate. Like, y'all, we really got to let that go. Like, Naba Erita, he did a podcast. I forgot. We can drop the details of that later, but he did a podcast explaining all of that. So like, y'all gotta let that go. Yeah, we're definitely gonna drop the alien details on the whole alien thing. You gotta look at it. You gotta look at who's giving you the knowledge. Right. You always gotta look at who's presenting certain things. Is. Bro, even if the American government, what they did, I think with the Watergate, and with the what do they call those whistleblowers? Whistleblowers, bro. Like, they allowed a whistleblower, not allow, because you know they go after the whistleblowers, but the whistleblowers can only blow the whistle so hard. Right. Like, they not blowing the whistle. They can only blow so hard. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, they're giving you chunks of a lot of good things, but you know, like, if the government didn't want certain things to be released, it ain't gonna be released. You're not gonna get it no matter who blowing a whistle. You're just not gonna get it. So it's a very like I don't know if we should say this, but I put America in the likeness of North Korea. Of North Korea. Because you can't Google everything.
No, you cannot.
You can't.
In fact, it's funny that you said that. There was a book about, well, I guess it's almost 10 years ago now, when I first became an initiate, and I found it online. It's out of print, but you could find the PDF, and it was well, actually you could find the book, but it had been scanned in. Old book. And it gave you
go pulling from the library of Narnia.
Okay.
Out of the closet of Narnia.
And it spoke about Byblos, and it gave you the map of that territory.
You wanted to find that book for us. You talking about Byblos.
Okay.
What you talking about?
What?
You saying something now. What you saying?
Listen. But try to find that book now.
Okay.
Google it. And I found it. I bookmarked it. I copied pages from it. So I have it. Originals.
Don't say that on this mic.
But listen, you cannot find that book now.
My house is not encrypted yet. Yeah, because it's scary. It's
when I Google.
I don't want to talk about.
When I Google expendable losses, I used to Google the term expendable losses, which is a military term, and you could easily get the definition. Now I know a lot of you know what that means, and we're not going to get into it right here. But what I'm saying is, when I try to Google that easily to find out what it means, like the dictionary definition, it don't come up as easily. So it's like you said, the algorithms are definitely, let me say this. I'll say it like this. I was with an organization that part of what we did, like if there was things that the organization didn't want the world to find, like there's a fee. You can pay Google. You can pay to have things buried. Now, it doesn't mean that buried from the standpoint of when you Google it, the algorithm doesn't allow you to find certain things easily.
Yeah, not at all.
So, I don't know if, like you said, if all of us are aware of that. And we here at the Starlight Podcast is trying to make it so that information is more accessible.
Yeah, I mean,
that you can get to things.
But it's not like we have like a deep secret library that's like national treasure, and you can like, what was that man's name? Jack Nichols? Nah, that's probably a whole different dude.
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. Dang, shout out to Jack Nichols, right?
Shout out to
Anyway, yeah, Nicolas Cage. Climb your way through the catacombs of DC. I mean, if you really want to experience that, come to the Kepta.
Right.
Take initiation.
And learn more. For deeper information.
The teachers out there are pushing. Like, listen, the teachers out there are really, bro, what?
Yeah, exactly. And that's an awesome segue so that we can give you more information on our location. So if you want to come check us out, come visit us, come sit on a class, want to see where we are and what we do, we have moved our office to 10770 Columbia Pike, Suite 300, Office W10 in Silver Spring, Maryland, and that's 20901. Should you decide that you have a question, a comment, have some feedback to give us, want to learn more about classes, want to schedule a time to come visit us, feel free to give us a call. The phone number that you would call is 301-818-4218. And if you have any questions specifically for the temple or for our school, you can reach us at our email, which is dmvkebta@theearthcenter.org. Again, that is dmvkebta. K like kangaroo, E like echo, B like boy, T like Tom, A like apple, H like Harry.
A
Kebta.
like alien.
dmvkebta@theearthcenter.org. If you have, for any reason, want to have any questions, comments, specifically for our podcast, you might want to submit something for the Griot's Corner. We'd love to have you. You can reach us at the Starlight Podcast at theearthcenter.org. Drop us a line. We would love to have a Voice of the People segment, which would be a vaulted episode where we would take the time to answer all your questions, share the feedback that we get from you guys. We would be able to do all that. So that's the best way to get a hold of us is to go ahead and pose your question through our email, the Starlight Podcast at theearthcenter.org. Is there any other way they can get a hold of us, Shamsuru?
They can go outside, take a flashlight, and shine it in the sky with the Batman wing.
And that'll hit the Starlight Podcast.
Yeah, it's the Starlight
Podcast.
Batman.
Oh, and you know what, you all? If you go to our Podbean site, our Podbean website, you can drop us a comment. You can have access to all of our episodes. Likewise, at any of the platforms that we're on, whether it's Spotify, where are we at? We're at Apple.
Yeah, we on Apple, Spotify, Podbean,
iHeartRadio.
We on iHeartRadio.
We are on iHeartRadio.
That's crazy.
We are on iHeartRadio.
We official.
We are.
And we're actually about to be on YouTube pretty soon, so stay tuned to that.
Stay tuned and look out for that.
Get y'all subscriptions, pay y'all bills.
Yeah,
pay y'all bills.
Okay. So that's how you get a hold of us, and we'd love to hear from you. And now to give you some backstory. I know you guys haven't heard our voices in a while, and we miss you all greatly. Just to give you some details on why we have been missing in action, and
please tell them it's not our fault.
Listen, we again are in our 30th year celebration anniversary of the Kev Time, and because of that, some of the people who help us, who make sure that we stay on point and stay on track, that we need to have access to, are away. They are in Merita. They are in Merita, West Africa. Merita is the traditional name of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And they are there in Africa. So sometimes because of the work they're doing, they are not available to us. Sometimes because of where they are in the bush, they are not available to us. But we are, because of that, our regular episodes that we have waiting in the hole for you are on pause right now. But we look forward to giving you these little tidbits of the vaulted episodes so that you can still hear our voices, still get your fix. So we appreciate everyone who has been hanging in there with us, who has been following us, who are still here with us after, I think how long have we been like missing in action?
Too long. Don't ask me. I'm about to turn 32. We've been listening for a long time. MIA. I feel like the Avatar when he sank into the ocean.
Oh my
and he was
goodness.
gone for like 50 something years, 100 something years.
Right.
And he popped out of a bubble. The little energy bubble. That's how our podcast is right now.
Listen, true, because we are so hyped to be here with y'all. We look forward to every time we get to sit down and bring our podcast to you. This is really a labor of love. So yeah, it's been a bop. It's been a minute. But that's why. It's not because we are not here with you. It's not because we're not in the background working. It's because we have some amazing people that are doing physical work, boots on the ground in Merita right now. And we hope that you guys at some point get to go.
Yeah, pull up with us.
And
I'll listen to the podcast with you in Merita.
I know that's right.
And look, I will sign your arms, and if you're bald, I will sign your heads.
That's what we're doing?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I'm not doing that, Sean. That's an all shows do thing. He's gonna sign your arms and your heads. I'm not doing that.
Listen, we can have after we have all of our seriousnesses preliminary. I can't. I messed up. Say it again.
Preliminary. Preliminary.
It's just certain words that. Yes. After we get that out of the way,
right,
we can circle back, and then I'm gonna sign your heads.
Okay. Yep. So that's what he's doing.
I'm gonna take a marker. I'm gonna bring a marker just for y'all. I'm an Amazon driver, so I'm gonna take a marker just for y'all. And
so yeah, that's basically that's why we've not been here for a little bit. But we're gonna record some of these vaulted episodes. We really want to hear from you. That will give us a dope voice of the people episode where we can really answer your questions, get your feedback on the podcast, and we can interact with you directly. So we look forward to that, y'all. So thank you for hanging in with us. I know this was like an all over the place episode, but we wanted to jump on, let you know why we weren't here, let you know what we've been thinking about, and how to get a hold of us. We're down to the last 5 minutes. Shamsru, you got anything else to add?
I mean, if we want, I can do a little grill real quick.
You want to do a little grill corner real quick?
I could. We're in the last 5 minutes. I can give you a little something special.
Nah. Hold it for the next time.
You sure?
Yeah. Hold it for the next time. Hold it for the next time.
I was about to give y'all some bars. I just did this piece called Rock, Paper, Scissors, Shoot. I don't think y'all know because I probably didn't tell you, and I don't think that y'all live around me, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. But I speak a little German, right? So what I did was incorporate a little bit of German in this new piece, and
oh, you know what, y'all? I did get to hear it myself. Yeah. It is fire.
I'm probably even if I do it for y'all, Grill's Corner, y'all probably not gonna get to that point. You're gonna have to buy my book.
Oh, okay then.
My audiobook.
I ain't mad at that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I like the shameless plug.
Cause it's
good job.
I'm not trying to talk about you. It's not an interview, but there's gonna be a spot in the Rock, Paper, Scissors where it might sound like a fight, or it might sound like a person turning on a radio, of like an old school radio, so you're gonna hear the sounds, and then like you're gonna hear like in the background German.
Okay. Y'all stay tuned. Shamsuru Tanko Water.
Yeah, it's gonna be fire. Y'all gonna be like, yo, and I'll be like, yo. I don't know what y'all look like, but if you follow the podcast, we cool.
Right.
That's all I gotta say though.
All right, y'all. Definitely hit us up. Thank you for your patience. Stay with us. We have more to come. We promise you. We look forward to your questions, your feedback, and we look forward to having a full episode of the Voices of the People, where your voices are the ones that we get to hear, and your voices are the questions, the voices of the questions that you have will be heard and answered. So that's it for this vaulted episode, y'all.
Yeah.
And we hope to hear from you and you hear from us soon.
Yeah.
Peace.
For sure. Peace.